We'll stay the same way. So same lineup as last night.
Is it getting to be a good thing where, hey, you got to find minutes? Guys are playing pretty well.
Everybody's, if you look at the minutes, it's been pretty much spread out. We're playing a lot of guys right now. We've changed the lineup a little bit, but for the most part, the guys that have been on the floor have been productive. And again, our energy and effort has to be high with whoever's on the floor.
What about Ursan at the four? What did you see last night?
Well, one, just probably getting back in the field. It's a little different being a starter than coming off the bench. He's a vet, so understanding, again, he's getting some good looks. And then, for him, the percentages are probably in his favor that he'll start knocking shots down for us.
Coach, you guys are facing another big front court tonight, just like last night. What did you think about the interior defense and how you guys were able to do that as a committee last night?
Well, when you look at Larry and Zaza and John, those guys I thought did a great job. When you talk about their bigs being able to be physical, not have to double team, so that took the three away for the Pacers. So hopefully we can have that same outcome tonight.
Jason, in terms of taking steps, you said, these guys have to learn how to win, how to finish. What you did last night at Indiana, and they made their run, you knew that was going to happen. How good is that for your guys?
Well, I think it's a plus, being early in the season, being through the example of losing that opener in Charlotte, having a big lead. Basketball is about runs, and so, Pacers make a run. We didn't panic. We were in that same position. We got to stop, but the biggest thing, we got a basket, and we executed down the stretch, and that's what helps you, win ball games in this league, and we found out last night.
A lot of us look from the outside and I think expect a whole bunch out of Jabari numbers-wise right away. From a guy who knows, the expert, how is this young man doing so far?
Well, he's doing great. When you look around, 2 double-doubles, being able to rebound. But the thing that we've all liked is that he's so unselfish. It's not about scoring 25 points a night. It's about winning, putting your team or your teammates in a good position offensively, helping them on defense, and so he's done everything. He's growing each minute that he's out on the floor. Again, he might make some rookie mistakes, but it's with the right intent, and that's to try to win.
How about the adjustment to the three? Anything you saw last night? I mean, at the start of the third quarter, he really asserted himself.
Yeah, I think it's, he's trying to feel his way. As much as we would love for him to score 25 points and have 10 rebounds, it's about, him learning, being able to understand what we're asking for him, his teammates are asking. But again, he's so unselfish. He wants to make the play, to his teammate, but also he looks to score. And I thought he's letting the game come to him. He's not putting any added pressure on making every shot.
They play with a lot of energy. I think they're buying into you and your coach's system. Do you feel good about that? I mean, especially on defense, there's a lot of passion out there from one end of the court, Jason, to the other.
Well, we talked about it in September and October. We're going to talk about it all the way to April about defense. Offense will come, but if we believe and trust one another on the defensive end, good things will happen. And so far early in the season, good things have happened on the defensive end, and we need to keep building on that.
Jason, what about this Bulls team? Obviously, Cleveland's off to kind of a slow start. The Bulls are off to a better start, even with Rose being injured a little bit and missing some games. What do you see with them? Are they just too balanced, or maybe?
They start with their coach. They take on their coach's personality. He's a fighter. He's a grinder. He's going to compete, and they compete for 48 minutes no matter who's in the lineup or who's out. They believe in one another. They've been together for some time. So, again, they're probably the favorites in the East. Again, they play with high energy and effort for 48 minutes. So we have to match that tonight.
How does Gasol fit in with them?
He knows what it takes to win. Not just win, but win championships. So he has that experience. He, again, can stretch the defense. He's a great passer. He's unselfish. Knows how to play the game the right way. So he fits in with what they're trying to do.
Jason, you hit the ground running, and I know it's early and you're totally immersed, but are you having fun?
It's been fun. This is a young group. They're great guys. Again, they trust one another. They play for one another, and they're executing. And that's, I always have said that I have a great seat to watch the best athletes in the world. My athletes are a little bit younger, but they're competing at a high level. Thank you.
What have you seen out of Brandon these last 4 games? Has he? I know you weren't here last year, but we saw this a little bit once he got healthy. Have you seen a step forward at all, or is this what you expected?
It's all good stuff, leading the team, on both ends, getting into the ball defensively, offensively, looking for his teammates, setting the table, setting the pace. You look at a race, a pace car, he's kind of that guy that gets us going. Again, we're asking him to do a lot of things, find his teammates, look for a shot. And he's responded in a positive way. And I think one of the nice things, we've asked him to help rebound, get back, all 5 rebounds. So he's pretty much filled up the stat sheet that way. Again, finding teammates. Last night, I thought coming down the stretch, he made a big shot, to be able to seal it. But I thought his defense, getting into the ball, high hands, getting deflections, I think, he does it both ways. Even if his offense isn't going, he can do it defensively for us too.
You came into the NBA kind of young for your era. How would you compare when you came into what Parker's going through now?
Well, I think the league was older when I came in, so, being 20, 21, we were young, didn't know how to win, maybe understanding we could win basketball games, but, this is a man's game. When you talk about understanding what it takes to win, you have to go through it. You have to see it. It's kind of a dark room with no light on. And you're just trying to feel your way around until you get comfortable of seeing different schemes, different coverages, understanding what the opponent's trying to do to you. For a young kid, you just rely on your strengths. But when you look at Jabari and Giannis, their intent is right when they're being aggressive, but also looking for their teammates. And when you talk about young guys, normally you just talk about them scoring, but these guys are making the right plays, and so that's a good thing.
You came in, it was a young group all together. Have you told them anything about your experience versus this is kind of a young group together too?
Well, with the way the schedule's set up, unfortunately, we're just playing games, so I don't want to bore them with any of my stories yet. Because I don't want the rah-rah speech before the game. I don't want them to hear any tales about me and Dallas and the 3 J's. So we'll save that for a practice or dinner.
Jason, how have you had to kind of adapt your approach with this team, knowing that there's a certain balance you have to strike between winning games and also developing the young guys?
Yeah, well, we feel, developing comes from winning or playing. We got to put guys in different positions, see how they handle it. This is a new staff, pretty much a new team in the sense, Larry didn't play that much last year. B. Knight was out, so they had a lot of injuries. So this is all new. So we are developing as well, learning how to win and how to play at a high level on every night. So it's about competing. Again, we feel we're a deep team and we have a lot of guys that can play, and you can see that early on that no one really played over 30 minutes last night, and hopefully we're fresh because we are young. But again, when you can keep the minutes down early in the season, that means that something's good happening, and hopefully it continues.